So talk a little bit about the record. What that means to it. Doesn't mean that much or not.
Yeah, I mean, any time your name goes down, such a good program, a record that's been there for 55 years, it feels good. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of stuff you guys don't see, besides the strikeouts, So it just feels really good to be able to get that record under my belt and just have my name on the record.
What about that conversation between you and Coach when he comes into the mound to pull you out? Take us through that conversation.
I think they got it recorded. He was mic'd up tonight, but yeah, the same conversation that goes on every time he comes out to pull me. It's like, what are you doing here? And then he was kind of just like, nah, man, it's a good rest week for you going into the postseason, stuff like that. And we had talked about a pitch count. I didn't think it was going to be that low on the pitch count, but that was basically the conversation that he pulled me.
What's it like when you go out on the mound and you see right behind home plate all these speed guns and all these scouts and everything's going on, and they're all there to see you?
Right. Yeah. I look at Pudge most of the time. He's usually the target I'm looking at. I don't really look back there. And yeah, there's nothing I can really control. With the scouts, who shows up, the draft, things like that. The only thing I can control is how I throw that baseball. So that's my main focus. Going out every day and working my tail off to be able to throw that baseball great once every 6 or 7 days. So that's my main focus.
How'd that standing ovation feel?
That was huge, man. Yeah, that's definitely one of the best moments of my career here. Coming off and everybody on their feet. It was pretty sweet.
Randy said you wanted to work the changeup. How do you think you threw it?
I threw it great. Probably the best it's been all year. It's going into tonight, it's been a pitch where it's there, but sometimes when you don't throw a pitch a lot, it's hard to keep that confidence. So something tonight, we were just like, hey, we had a big lead, and I literally shook to the changeup 5 times in a row at the beginning of that inning because I wanted to make sure I threw it. And we did exactly what we wanted. I attacked him really well and threw him at the bottom of the zone and got that great confidence going into the postseason.
How, wild is it maybe, or I'm not sure what the right word is, but the fact that maybe this isn't the last home game for this team in this stadium.
Yeah, I mean, if we take care of business from here on out, I think we should definitely host a regional. If the NCAA has seen anything of what Mountaineer Nation can do, they know that this is a great spot for a regional. They know that it's going to be a great atmosphere at every game, not just ours. New ballpark. I think it'd be a great idea for them to let us host a regional. We've definitely earned it. Got some great wins under our belt, and if we take care of business from here on out and make a run at a championship in the conference tournament, I don't see why not.
Randy's talked about building the program and you guys being on the ground floor of that. Talk about your involvement in that, what it means to be a part of a program that's going to regionals now and those types of things.
It's huge. It was something out of high school. It made me want to come here, seeing that I think 5, 6, 7 years ago maybe this team played up every Big 12 series, home series on the road, 3 hours away. They didn't have a locker room. To now where we're at, like you said, we're playing in regionals, probably going to play in a regional 2 out of 3 years I've been here. It's one of the things where coming out of high school, I was just like, I want to be a part of something that is in the right direction. We got into the Big 12 and always had great finishes, and then once we got here, finally played in a regional, and and just our goal is to get farther than a regional this year. Making a regional, I guess I would say is our expectation at this point. It's not something where it's just all right, we played in a regional, we played in the playoffs. I would say that was a little bit of the feeling my freshman year, but now it's like, hey, we can go further than that. So it's just great to see how far this program has gone.
But when you came here, they weren't even talking about regionals.
Yeah.
I'm sure people said, why West Virginia? Why'd you choose them instead of some of the other places you looked at?
Yeah, just, like I said, I believed in Coach Mazey, the family environment that he brought to the table and the type of program he runs and the coaching staff. And it's just, we're one big family, and that's why, we're able to win, close games because we stay together and we're able to go through tough parts of the season and get out of it, and go through great parts of the season together and things like that. Adversity doesn't hit us too hard because we're a family, so we're comfortable with each other, and that was something that I really wanted to be a part of coming out of high school, and that's why I made a decision, to come here.
guys talk about your confidence. When did you get it? When did you felt like you got, hey, I can make the pitches where I want them to be? And when did that happen for you?
Confidence is just my attitude.
You got it.
It's just my demeanor. I got confidence when I wake up in the morning, just everything I do. I believe I'm guided by God in every step, and there's no reason for me to not be confident every day I wake up. I try and do the right things and just follow that path. But yeah, I think, finally that confidence matched up, with a really precise work ethic, really good routine, and, the talent levels, obviously always been there, and I'm finally putting it all together.
Was there a moment at the Cape? Was there a moment this year when you're like, I got it?
It was kind of just I would say like a mental cue. Some immaturities my first few years, just trying to come out and blow fastballs by people and stuff like that. And as a big guy, it's hard to get all those limbs, in the right spot at the right time every time. It's hard to stay consistent, especially when you're trying to throw as hard as you can. So I think once I just focused on mechanics and throwing strikes over velocity, the velocity's always been there either way. So yeah, just staying within myself, and once that clicked, it's just opened the door for everything.
Do you remember your first inning in this park in the real game? I didn't look it up tonight.
First inning in this park in a real game, I would say probably Jacksonville. Was it Jacksonville?
Bingo, man.
Jacksonville.
Closing it for Grove.
Yeah, Jacksonville, my freshman year. You remember the score?
10-1 or 9-1. It was a blowout too, wasn't it?
No. Do you know the score? No.
8-1.
8-1.
Okay. I was gonna take it price is right.
Wait a minute now.
You said yeah, that 10-1, 9-1. Yeah.
Who did the research here?
No. I mean, I have a great memory. So yeah, 8-1, and my first ever strikeout was at Charlotte my freshman year. I think they were 49ers, and we were up 6-1 in that game. Came in the last inning, got my first strikeout.
You remember the official game time, the first pitch or anything?
Probably 1 o'clock Sunday.
What about your body composition, man, and thinning up and leaning up, and that's got to.
Thanks for that, man.
I know it's not just the navy blue, right? It's but the difference in you physically from being a freshman to now.
Yeah, just the body maturing, the shoulders broadening, the muscles developing, and it's also been a decision, mentally. Just sometimes you wake up at 6 in the morning for lifts or conditioning, and it's cold. And you don't want to go. That's the truth about it, man. And my mindset changed to, there's a great opportunity to get better today. So that mindset changed. So every time I got in the weight room, I was getting better. My weights were going up. My body was getting better. My condition was getting better. My mindset was getting tougher. And I just think that's something that I fell in love with off the field. It's obviously good to go and strike people out and win games, but that's a part of the game where a lot of people they don't like to do it, and it's something that I've really taken pride in.
You mentioned Grove. Wouldn't that have been a heck of a 1-2 deal there, having him back this year with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has any regrets.
Yeah.
I wish he wouldn't have signed, but we all do. But yeah, I mean, we all wish the best for Grove, and we're all best buddies with him and stuff. So always the best.
Have you texted him, talked to him a little bit about what?
We haven't talked too much. Obviously, he's real busy during season, and me as well. But
you're a little busy.
Yeah, just a little bit. So
obviously, there's going to be some people saying that about you next year, don't you think?
No. I mean, yeah, they're gonna want me to stay, and I mean, obviously, you never know what's gonna happen with the draft. So there's a chance I do come back, but. Yeah, I guess.
But we could be asking this question to somebody else next year about you being on the 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
I'd say the odds are very good.
Yeah, I wonder if you've been treating this as a senior weekend.
I don't. I think Pudge told me before the game, because this will be the last time on this field, and I was like, can we not post a regional?
There you go.
And I was just like, all right, man, I guess, if you don't think we can, this is it. So.
It's rare for one record to fall, but we got 2 tonight. Talk about Darius and what he brings to the team.
Darius, man, he's Mountaineer baseball. He's been that for the past 4 years. I don't think that's the only record he's broken this year. He's played in the most games, right? Yeah, played in the most games, most starts at bats. That guy's his name's written all over the record book. Yeah, just the leader he is off the field. The way he works on the field. He's just a great friend. Also, he's a great teammate. And for him to break those records, that's just amazing.
I mean, you can do it once a week. How important is it to have guys like him who every day in your line.
Yeah, I mean, well, I still got to show up the other 6 days. But yeah, he has to bring it every day of the week, and that's not easy to do. You know, a long season, over 200 plus games, it wears you out a little bit. But that's something where that's Darius, man. He's consistent. That's who he is as a person. That's who he is at school. That's who he is when he eats. That's who he is when he works out. He's just that consistent guy. You know what you're going to get out of him. So, yeah, kudos to him for being able to bring it every day.
How do you become a consistent